Good evening, afternoon, people. This is the disassembly of the nozzle and BCG of a Golden Eagle M4A1 gas blowback rifle. I'd recommend using this video as a just to help you disassemble the nozzle for the Golden Eagles and any WA clone, ideally. So you can adjust either the FPS from the crown inside the nozzle, or you're just going to quickly give it a quick clean out and relube. So obviously the first thing you want to do is split your low and upper receiver. Very easy thing to do is just pop out this one pin here, pop that out, and your M4 will just split in two like that. And the next bit is I'm going to quickly grab myself some tissue because my BCG is covered in grease. Is to pull out the BCG, your bolt. And also remember your charging handle as well. So that'll top out. Just grab that off. That. This charging handle is your bolt. And now you can just discard this because you do not need your rifle anymore. Let's go down there for a minute. So now, main attraction is these two. So, this is the older version of Golden Eagle M4. You can tell straight away it's because of the orange nozzle. This is going to be based on the orange nozzle. I do not have a newer version, bolt carrier, or anything alike. I think the only major differences for the older GEs is the hop-up unit is being proprietary instead of using the GHK, which can be brought up in a different video on how we can disassemble that. Right now, we do not need your charging handles. You can get rid of it. We only need this, a bolt. The bolt is probably the most important part of your weapon. Without it, it wouldn't even be able to function. So the first thing you want to do is just have a quick look at it. So the two main things you want to identify. On this side of your bolt, there is a slightly discoloured plate. This is what holds your nozzle in. This is basically what holds your nozzle in and what gives it a bit of rail space so it can move about without falling out. And alternative as well, you also have the nozzle return spring, which I'm going to refer as to the NRS. It's this little brass thing at the back of your bolt. So this here, and it's held in by a C-clip. The C-clip can be quite annoying to remove if you have not done it before. So, a couple things you want is a small Allen key that will fit to be able to push the pin out on the nozzle. You want a small screwdriver, very important. And you might want some gloves if your bolt is dirty and you don't like getting grease on you. But these are the only two main things you're going to need. Anything else I'll suggest later on in the video. But right now, we're going to start off by removing the C-clip, which holds the nozzle return spring in, which is fairly simple. So you want to find the bottom of your C-clip. For me, it is the bottom of the bolt. And you want to get your screwdriver and basically push the bottom of the C-clip out. This can be quite finicky. It may take time. So just pushing it out. There we go. So once you've got your C-clip off, it's fairly simple. Just put it aside, don't lose it. If you lose it, you're not going to be able to put your bolt back together, and if you do, well, you can anyways, but you won't be able to hold your bolt in and your gun will not fire properly. So you can just give it a quick tub. So the brass piece is no longer exposed, basically a little hole instead. And now your nozzle is just free moving. That is how it's meant to be. Now the next piece is the piece that holds in your bolt. So on the side where it is, there is usually a little piece here. You can just use a screwdriver and push it out. Fairly easy. Just get your fingers and pull it out. And set that aside as well. Now you can just pull your nozzle out. Done. That is the easiest way to remove your bolt. Or your nozzle from your bolt. Now, if you're just doing this to lube your gun, this is a bit where you want to stop, and you just want to get some grease and basically just get your finger in there, give it a good old twirl, and basically all lubed up. Make sure the O-ring is not dirty and has some fresh lube on it. But other than that, you can set your bolt aside, and the bolt is done. The next piece may differ between the bolts and nozzles even. So for me, I only have one pin. It may differ between different nozzles. I'm not sure. For me and this orange nozzle, the pin is located right at the back. It is a little silver pin. You may not be able to see it, but it's right there. And I have an Allen key just small enough to push it out. It may take a bit of force, but it's fairly easy. Basically, just give it a good on nudge, it will pop out, just like so, and you can pull it out with your fingers. And what that does is releases the back piece of your nozzle, so it can come out. Now, this bit where I would personally use my screwdriver and basically just pry it out. It won't damage your nozzle or anything like that. It's fairly easy. Just pry it out like that, and then from there you can just pull it, and that's it. Your nozzle is now in two pieces. This is a piece of seal your nozzle, and this is just shell. Now inside you have a washer, which you do not want to lose. You have the brass crown, and you also have the rocket valve. These are the three main components you do not want to lose. The rocket valve also has a spring on it. If you lose that, you're gonna have to get a new one. I don't know what would happen if you lose that spring, but I personally wouldn't risk it. So easiest way to get these all out is just tap the bottom and it'll all come out. There's the crown. Brass crown is what limits your FPS. Very annoying. And if you give it another tap, sometimes it will come out on its own, sometimes it won't. But the way that it goes in is you have the washer that goes in first. You can see it if you look through your your input. You have the silver washer, and then it's the black rocket valve with the spring in second. So the washer goes in first, and then the rocket valve. I'm not going to remove them just because I find it difficult to put them back in. May differ between bolts or nozzles even, but it's up to you if you want to remove it. You don't need to lube them up or anything. They don't need lubing. It is just what it is. They can stay in there. Now this is a piece where this is a bit you want to look at. The crown is what limits your FPS. You do not want to overdo your valve. The crown. If you overdo it, your gun will shoot too hot, and you'll basically either have to buy a new nozzle or buy a new crown. I would personally set this up so that you're going to get it's based on when you use it the most. When you use your rifle the most. So the hotter weather where your gun's going to shoot hotter is when you want to adjust this. In the winter, your gun will always shoot cold. That is how it is. Your gun will always shoot low FPS. For me, in the winter at 15 degrees 15 degrees Celsius, I got 174 FPS, which is unacceptable for me. I have a WEG36 which shoots hotter than that in 15 degree weathers. So I basically sanded the top 4 prongs of this crown down just a little bit, and bit by bit until my FPS got how I want it. If you overdo this, as I said before, you're going to have to buy either a new crown or a new nozzle, or use a weaker gas. Once you've adjusted this for the summer, or when you use this weapon the most, for me when it's colder, I use black gas instead of green gas, so that I can up my FPS without having to change my nozzle or adjust the crown to a specific height where it will suit my FPS better. So once you sanded it down just a little bit goes a long way. Trust me when I say this. It's finicky when you want to try and get 300 to 330-ish, depending on your country. I'm UK, so I got around about 330. But you just want to go little by little to the point where you're getting that perfect FPS. The FPS will jump. That is just the nature of gas guns. That is just how it is. Once you've done this, it is very simple. Just make sure all the other pieces are in there. Reinsert your crown. It will just drop back in. Give it a bit of a tap so it's in there. Grab the black piece. Insert back in. Make sure the notch is going back into the little hole. Give it a little bit of tap. Now that is back on together. Now you want to find your pin. Now this pin, I would strongly suggest putting in the same way that it came out with. So tapping it in the smooth side, back in. It will just push in by itself. You can just use your fingers. If it doesn't go enough, just use a screwdriver or something. It's very easy. Simple. Now that will not come out. Very easy. Now that is how you basically adjust your nozzle. redoing or reinstalling your nozzle is the same way you disassemble it. It's just putting it back in, you tap, grab the black piece, put the front, this piece in first, slide it in, forward, push it, and it should just go back in and give it a tap. That's in. Now you want to reinstall the C-clip. I usually go from the top. That is how I prefer to install my C-clip. It's up to you, it's just preference. I just find it easier to go for the top. So I just put the C-clip in there, I'll grab my screwdriver to push it in. Once it's in there, you can just give it a good old push, and it'll get back on. Easy peasy. And now if you just pull your nozzle, that's not coming out, that's going to return easily. Easy peasy, done. Then it's just putting your bolt back inside your weapon. Easy peasy. Make sure charging handle's in there, because obviously that's not going to work otherwise. Other than that, simple, done. Very easy. Cool, isn't it? Top tips. So I would always keep, in whatever toolbox you have, I personally have a little toolbox that's literally made out of a sight box that I had from a EOTech clone from Patrol Base. It is perfect for this. I can fit back of iron sights, Swiss knife, carabiner, screwdrivers, pieces, Allen keys, everything. You can fit anything in there. But that's basically where I keep my stuff. And I'd always keep the same things you use to disassemble this nozzle on you at all times. Perfect. Other than that, it's all good. Thank you very much for watching, and I will probably be releasing some more disassembly videos on how you can disassemble your hop-up and basically strip your entire weapon back down to its bare bones. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Adios.